Hello, as a part of our innovative assignment, we create a real-time chat application. As you can see, it is our basic layout. So first of all, I describe the simple structure of this our application. So first of all, create the account on this app. So I enter Neel Patel. Password is choose a file. This image is .jpg format. Now continue to chat. Wait a minute. Here we verify our email. So go to the email account. So here 0 minute ago there is OTP generated and we this OTP is we enter. So now we are login in Neel Patel. So it is in now active mode. So here we can say so the head Patel is also active. So now send the message to the head Patel. Okay. So okay. Here Red Patel is active, so I type a message. Hello Head. Here Head Patel got the message from Dini Patel, and Head Patel also write hello Neel. So now let's understand about each code part, and it will continue by Deep Patel.
So this is sign up page. So in sign up page we have created form in which first name, last name, email address, password, image, all these fields are required from user. So for password, if you enter password, then it will toggle to show and hide password. So for that we have created an class active, which so we basically we add and remove that class to show and hide password. Now this form data will be sent to signup.js. So basically we have used ajax to send data to this URL signup.php. So in signup.php, the connection of database as well as the validation of fields will occur. So for connection of database, we have provided hostname, username, password, and database name. So if there is error in connection, then it will display particular error. So after connection to a database, now this php form will fetch first name, last name, email, and password with the help of post request. After that, it validates whether these fields are empty or not. Then it further validates email with the help of filter where function. Now this will also validate image extensions, like if user and uploads other than this extension, then error will be generated. Now if a user registered with already registered email id, then it shows that this email already exists. And this will done with the help of this query select star from user where email is equal to email. So this will fetch all the email from database, and then it will check whether number of rows is greater than 0. So if this email already present, then it shows this email already exists. Now the demonstration will be there. So like if I click on continue button, it says that all input fields are required. So now if I provided some wrong email like 1234, then I click on continue. Then it says 1234 is not a valid email. So if I provided all the details right, then it will redirect to validate page. So we can see that at initial I have entered this email address, and this the OTP status is not verified as we does not validate OTP. Now now the verification code will be sent to this email address. So if I provided correct verification code, then it will leads to user.php page. So in basically in this validation page, user has to enter verification code. So if then it will fetch the data from the database. So if user has enter valid verification code, then the OTP status will be converted to verified with the help of update query. Now, but what if a user already registered and just want to log in only? So for that, he has to provide email and password, and validation will be same as signup.php file. So if I provide continue button, so it says that all input fields are required. And if I provided wrong password, so it says that email or password is incorrect. So here is the code for that. So first we will check that whether is empty or not. So like then we have I have created query select star from user where email is equal to email. So if it checks whether number of rows is greater than 0, means whether this email is present in database or not. So if the email is present, then is further check password. So if password provided by user and password in the database is same, then the status will be converted to active. So the user is active now. So if the correct password is a user is entered by the user, then it will be leads to user.php file. So if I provided correct password, then it leads to user.php file. And after that, if I check database, then the OTP status will be verified, means the user is verified now, and then he can easily log in again. Now Neil will continue.
So here it is a user page, and now as you see, the Patel is already logged in and it is in our inactive mode. So whenever user is login, that time one unique ID is generated and it is in our database. So here it is a SQL query. Whenever Neil Patel is login, there is a unique ID of according to this Neil Patel, and by use of this unique ID, we fetch the information about Neil Patel. So use this email ID, unique ID. We fetch the first name, last name, and the status mode of the Neil Patel. As you can see, first name and last name Neil Patel and status is active now. Whenever we click on the logout button, we redirect into the sign up page. This area is a user list, and we run the user.js file. Okay, in JS file, we fetch the information of user list. This area, this section. By the use of AJAX, we redirect to the page user.php. If there is no user sign up, then there is no any entry in our database. So we get the error message is no user are available to chat. But already there are some users who already signed in and they have already account. So we have information about them. So we find the information of these people and we go into the data.php file. use of while loop, and SQL query. We fetch the user information from the database, such like that there is a first entry of Head Patel, second entry of Dhruv Mistry, and third entry of Deep Patel. So suppose at the first time it fetched the Head Patel, and like that take a image, take a first name and take a last name from the database, and store these all information in the output dot outputs. Okay, and redirect to the user.js file. Here we get the whatever we store the data in the output, we take it in this data, and with the use of inner HTML we describe all this data into the use of CSS. Though suppose at the first time head portal is fetched and describe head portal in this first, and then after Dhruv Mistry, and then after Deep Patel. Here we actually fetch the data from the database. So here we use get method. So now focus on the search part. We click on to the search button. Suppose we search head. So we get the head Patel. Suppose we enter Patel, Deep Patel and Head Patel. If there is no user like ABC, so we get the message error is no user found related to your search term. Okay. So whenever we click on this the search button, search icon, the search icon is in the active mode, and whatever we search, this all information is fetch and redirect to the search.php file. Whatever we search, if this search is matched with the our data, that time we again run to the data.php file. If the search is not matched with our data, so we get the error message is no user found related to your search item. So like that, it is a user list and this is a search part, and how the we get the information from the generate the unique ID, and it's a logout button.
Hello everyone, my name is Hed Patel and I am here to explain you the chat section of this project. Here you can see that at the left hand side there is an account of Neel Patel, and suppose he is trying to send a message to Hed Patel, and at the right hand side there is a account of Hed Patel, and if suppose he is trying to send the message to Neel Patel. Okay, now I will give you a quick demo that how it looks. Like suppose there is a hi message from the Neil Patel to Hed Patel, and the same message is appeared here at the real time. And suppose it is also reversible, like this. Now, how this code is works, I will show you. So this is a PHP file called chat PHP, and here first we check if the user is properly logged in or not. Then we include the header files, and we have database of users, and we fetch the user names and other details from that database. Uh, like currently we have three users: Neil Patel, Deep Patel, and Hit Patel. Okay, and then if there is a user, we will fetch the user with the help of the user id of the user. Like the user id from the Head Patel here is appeared because of the user id of that user, and by that user id we will print his name, first name, last name, and the status that is active now. And here is the code for this passage. And so now how we can get that the message written here is to send to which user, because there are multiple users. So for that we are using that input tag, and that input tag is hidden. One input tag is here for the message and it is not hidden, and the another is hidden, and the value of that hidden input tag is the user ID of incoming user, the user ID of Hed Patel. Now we will how we can use, then we will come back to the insert chat dot php, and we insert that data, like from which user to which user and what is the message. We will store this all information into the database and the table called the messages. Here is the table messages, and here is the all chat that incoming this user to this user, and this is the message. We will store these all informations. Okay. Now, how we will display these things, like here in the black box and white box. From that, we will using this get chat. Now we have store our information to the database, and the user ID is in the user table. So we have to merge these all these two table, the user table and the message table, using this left outer join. And after joining the table, if there is a entry, then we will just store the output into the variable called output. And if the message is sent and if the message is outgoing, then the only message is displayed, and the css for this is written in the outgoing class at the css file. And if the message is incoming, then we have to show this image. So we will also see that image, row of image. So in this way we will show this chat section. Now in our application there is an additional feature called the admin panel. And the admin panel is comes through the login page. There is an option called admin, and only admin can access. And from in this page, the uh, all the list of users admin can see, and this list is appeared in the database. And we fetch, I will show you the admin page. And we will connect to the user database, and we will fetch the all information about the users and display here. And there is a option to remove the user. Only admin have the rights to remove any users from this application. And now there are multiple users and multiple remove buttons. So how we can uh, think that the which remove button is pressed, and how it will submit it. So for that logic, we will again use the input tag, and the type is hidden, we cannot see. And the value of that hidden input tag is the user ID of that user. Like the from this you remove button, there is a user ID of Neel Patel, and there is a name of ID, and there is the submit button. If we submit button, we can access the id. Like if we remove this data, like remove, then it will fetch the id of Neil Patel. And we then simple run the query delete from the users where user id equal to that id. And we will see that the Neil Patel data is removed from our database also. like like user table, like we can see that previously there is a three records, and now there is only two records. So this is all about our project. Thank you for watching